How do you react when you fail as a leader or a captain? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do when you fail and how you should move forward with your team. What's up, self-helper? In this video, I want to tell you about how you should react to failure and how you should move forward if you're a team captain or a leader. And this is going to apply in almost every area. That includes business performance, sports performance, or even school performance. So how are you going to apply this information? I want to tell you about an incident that happened to me a few years ago where I was leading my table tennis team, the university team, at the zonal level, and we had to give in our best performance at the quarterfinals if we were going to make it to the next stage. So the way that we had planned this out was that I was going to start things off with playing the first match, and if the situation led up to it, I would play the final fifth match. I would be the deal breaker. So what happened was that I had to show my teammates the way. I had to demonstrate that I was captain material. So I signed up for the very top, the very first match, and then I told myself, okay, you know what, I'm going to lead the way, I'm going to win that first match no matter what. And guess what? I ended up losing a very close match. I tried my level best, but I wasn't able to pull off the victory. Now, what was the best possible way to react to this situation? Now, we have a very important overall match to win, the team match. Am I going to sit and scold myself? Am I going to berate myself? Am I going to engage in negative self-talk that is probably going to damage my performance in a possible fifth match? Or am I going to focus on how the team is performing now and try to, give that support that is necessary in order to pull out the victory? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters, right? So what did I do for a change? I brushed it off and I told myself, you know what? Let's focus on the team. So I focused on the second match. My teammate won the second match, and then we lost the third match, and then again the person who played the second match won the fourth match, and then it came down to the deciding match. So it was 2 games apiece for each team, and I was a part of the deciding match. Not only did I have to bounce back from the loss that I had suffered just a few minutes ago, but I also had to demonstrate the potential of being a leader, and also what a leader would possibly do in a circumstance like that. Would I carry over the same negative energy, the same thoughts that I was having, that I lost such an important match that may have possibly cost us the entire overall match? Or was I going to hold myself accountable and tell myself, no, I have another match coming up. Now we've gotten to the stage, this is where we are. Now how do we go from here? That is a very important question that you need to ask yourself in your own life. How do you react under these circumstances? Do you scold yourself? Do you tell yourself, I'm no good, I should have converted that match, I should have performed better, I should have done a better job, I should have trained harder? There are always going to be a lot of what ifs. So if you engage in a lot of what ifs in your own life, you need to go about changing this. And how do you do that? You start telling yourself this: so what? Simple. You need to tell yourself that, so what if I didn't perform that well? So what if I didn't train hard enough? So what if things are not the way I want them to be? Things are the way they are right now. What am I going to do from here? Am I going to sit and complain about how things didn't work out in the past? Or am I going to make the best possible use of the situation I'm in now? That's what you need to understand. And in that situation, I, with all of my experience, managed to pull off a victory. And it was a 3-0 victory that was there in the deciding match. Not only did that give me a great boost of confidence for the very next match, but it also reaffirmed something that I believed in. And that was holding on to my negative self-talk, holding on to these negative thoughts that will possibly pull my performance down further, instead of allowing me to move forward from a mistake that I committed previously, would be the best possible thing for me. So how do you move on from a mistake? You start things off by telling yourself, so what? You start to analyze your self-talk. Remember that your self-talk is going to go about two different situations when you actually make a mistake or you lose in the midst of a competition or some other business deal or performance related issue. It's going to be these two phases. Number one, it's going to be an immediate response, and the second one is going to be a follow-up. Now, majority of leaders are always going to think about the follow-up. The follow-up is where everyone's mind goes, and usually with good leaders, it's going to be something positive. Again, it sets the tone for what the team and the player is going to do moving forward. So that immediate response is what usually a lot of leaders and team captains ignore. They tend to ignore this important concept that how am I thinking at that point of time? What am I feeling in those situations? When you look at the follow-up, on the other hand, the follow-up is what they think about: how am I going to learn from this and how am I going to move forward? Most of us get this right, but getting this immediate reaction is so important. So again, it goes back to this: how do you talk to yourself? What do you say to yourself after a loss? Do you scold yourself? Do you hold yourself accountable, saying that, I am going to engage in these emotions that are going to possibly trap me and hold me down for a length of time? Or are you going to tell yourself, you know what, this isn't really doing me any good. This isn't going to solve the problem. This isn't going to really change things and make the situation better, not only for me, but also for my team. So how do I take this energy and transform it into something more positive? How do I change from what is here, make those mistakes the right thing that I want? You do this. Remember that this energy, while it's negative, it's also super powerful. It has the potential to create change. And remember that any kind of failure is always, a possibility. Winning and losing is a part of the game. And how do you bounce back from failure? How do you learn from failure? And how do you move on with that process from there? That is what sets the tone. What does it do to your belief system? What do you say to yourself? That is what you need to consider. So looking at all of this, how are you going to move forward? That is the thing that makes you change or makes you better. How accountable are you? Think about it. So what do you need to remember? That your immediate reaction, which is going to play an immediate role, that is going to make a big difference in how you follow up in future events. Do this one simple thing. If you can do this, a physical action, brush it off. As simple as that. When you know things are not going your way, you're going to have bad days, things are not going to be perfect all the time, it's always important to brush it off. Focus on what is working, stick to the basics, and then work your way from up there. You're never going to be able to perform at 100% all of the time, but it's about being accountable, giving it your best effort, and learning from your mistakes and moving on from there. Now, this is a lot more than motivation, but it's a deep analysis that you do of your own performance and of yourself, and then you learn from the experience. That's what I want to leave you with. So brush it off next time you make a mistake, and things will work themselves out, because you are learning from the entire process, and success is a process. So don't worry about it. It'll work itself out, provided you keep working on yourself and doing the right things. If you found this video useful, make sure you leave it a thumbs up and tell me what you thought about it down in the comment section below. Check out my video on accountability as a leader, that I'll link it up right here. Hit this I button, or check out the description box below, and that's going to tell you all about that. Remember that if this is your first time here, you want to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon, because I am putting out videos on a daily basis to make you the best version of yourself. So if you are looking at this point of time in your life to perform better, to get motivated, and to feel empowered, then hit that subscribe button and check out all of my videos. I'm doing videos on a daily basis to help make a difference in your life. This is Vikram signing off, and I'll see you in the next session.